fucking accepting it's us. We stay on the grind till we up. You can catch me with game. We doing our thing. We focused on getting the bucks.
What's good, world? What it do? It's the TheHunnidsPodcast, man. It's your boy Jay Hamp, man.
Yeah.
Sitting here, my big dog B. What's good?
What's good with you, baby?
Hey, look,
show.
Whole different type setup. You know what I'm saying? We got a special guest.
I like this because it's more space. I can move around and do shit, and you know what I'm saying, be animated and shit. Oh no, just in case, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, look, man. We got a special guest, you know, in the building, man. I'm gonna say comedy legend in the making.
Goodness.
And I'm gonna say that just because the material is so strong.
It is.
You know him from HBO's Def Comedy. You know him from Wildin' Out. You know him from blazing these stages all across the nation, man. Hey, look, man. If you ain't up on the movement, at Mr. Nate Jackson on Instagram, man. We got Nate Jackson in the building. What's up, man, homie?
Yeah.
What's good, man?
What's your baby?
Welcome to the TheHunnidsPodcast.
Yeah, that.
Hey, look, man. So, talk to me, man. What it been like since you touched down in VA, man?
Well, I got in Thursday, so that was slow because it's just the night before everything, and then Friday morning I had press, and then I did 2 shows last night. But I popped in on Thursday night. I saw a show with Cletus. He was doing
Cletus Cassidy.
That's what it was.
Yeah, shout out to Cletus Cassidy.
It's funny, clean.
From Portsmouth, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And some good stuff about his son peeing or something like that I was laughing at. And then last night we did 2 shows. The first show was sold out, which is love because I've never been here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So first show was sold out, and then the second show was full room, you know, the whole bottom full. Which if you was in there, you'd have been like, it's sold out, you know.
Yeah,
so it's been love.
Indeed.
You know.
Indeed.
And I'm not off the gas either. I'm on they ass.
Indeed,
It's 45, 50 minutes of straight bing, 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 bing. You know what I mean? I ain't been here before. I want to come back. So
and folk been waiting for you, dog. Like, we've been waiting for you, man. We done told different promoters about you. We done asked them to bring out, and it's dope to see that the people are coming out to support you. You know what I'm saying? And that's real. So look, place you never been, place I never been is where you from. And you know, it tripped me out to you told me it's black folk out of Washington.
Yeah, it's black people.
So take me back, man.
I never thought that there was any black people out in Washington except the NFL players.
Them too. But this is the thing, right? I mean, you a Q.
Yeah.
And you a Q. So then you understand a little bit about like expanding towards the West with the military. It gives black people opportunity to go all around the world that they wouldn't have had because the military takes you everywhere. Mm-hmm. You know, and so the military is everywhere. And if the military is everywhere, the niggas are too. Because we the biggest. We America's secret. We done fought in every war, helped us win every war, built the damn White House and all that. The niggas done been all over. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And really, it's a different type of black person because the earlier your people got up to the Northwest or out to the far West or further north, the less Jim Crow y'all had to deal with, the less systemic racism was already put in place and running for you. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Racism everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the systems ain't as in place as like a Virginia, where this is where we first touched down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So before they even freed us, they already knew what they was gonna funnel us into.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
So it's just different in that sense, but it's hella black people.
I heard the weather out there, man, is always raining, like that dreary look. Like, is that true?
It's terrible, man. The weather's so bad.
Why you think that is?
Man, what you mean? Why you think that is?
No,
man,
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. 'Cause in California,
it's the TheHunnidsPodcast.
Well, so the reason why it rains in Washington, I'm gonna tell you because I had to learn this in I think it was middle school or high school. Not to make questions sound remedial, but this is what happens. So the Cascade Mountains run down the middle of Washington State. So when the clouds form over the ocean and they push in towards the land, they have to release moisture to rise above the mountains and to continue their journey. So their last stop before the mountains is Seattle area.
Come on.
So that's why it rains.
Indeed.
But here's the thing, though.
The hell you ask? What kind of questions we ask?
I'm gonna answer everything. Can you tell? But here's the thing, though. Like, the summers are the most beautiful summers in the country.
Okay.
There's zero humidity. It's a dry heat, and here it's humid. It's thick. You can feel it. The air chunky. It's thin. It's light. We got the most beautiful women. Everybody's mixed with something. It's all exotic looking and all that, and summer dresses and you're gonna be like, we don't want you to come. So yeah, it rains all year round. Don't come.
Right.
But on the
More
low,
for y'all.
woo, summer is beautiful. It's not raining. It's blue skies. Everything green.
So what y'all listening to?
Where?
Music wise.
I mean, I don't know about y'all. You talking about Northwest?
Yeah,
I
Northwest.
mean, I live in LA, so I'm listening to whatever is
YG
popping.
and all that. Now I'm talking about like, you know what I'm saying?
My favorite song, Baby Suge, right now though.
Look, the baby.
Yeah.
What you think about the baby and his antics?
I don't know. Are they antics?
I think it's real.
It's not an antic if you had a throw boat. Like, that's not an antic. If he didn't have a right hook or whatever he hit dude with, he'd have been in the video with his boxers out. Career over.
Beat the dude out
right.
his drone.
But imagine if that went the other way. And the dude like, this your rapper? This your favorite rapper?
Yeah.
He's like, dang, I guess I can listen to that. That would never happen to Sugar Free.
I just let me tell you something, man. We cold pimping on this motherfucker, man. Dog, I think
I never hit a woman.
I like the baby, man, cause since he came out, man, he ain't took no L's. When the dude tried to run him off the porch, told me he had to check in. He ain't run. The Walmart incident, he laid somebody down. This incident.
At what point
Put
are people gonna
somebody
stop fucking with my man? Yo?
Man, ain't no. I think,
Apparently ain't gonna never stop. But
Right.
here's the thing for me, right? Like, why are we still in a place where he got to go through that hostility to be valid in rap? Like, what the hell does any of that got to do with bars? What does any of that got to do with melody, with riding the track? He got to also be a gangster? I thought gangster rap was like done.
but that's
I
the
thought it
culture
was,
though.
too.
That's the culture though. Like,
I don't know. I don't like that part of the culture.
all right, so look, let me ask you this, man. You in the comedy game, man, and what I've seen, like, maybe it's there before I saw it, but what I've seen over the last 3 years, it seems like there's a lot of black on black comedy beef. So,
Yeah, what's up with that?
like, I see you steering clear of it, but to me, it seems like it's almost the same thing. Like, you got one comic hating on another. In these instances, you got one rapper hating on another.
What rappers hating on what rapper?
Where the dude, that Baby Pop is a rapper.
In the store?
Yeah,
The one with his butt out.
yeah, he a rapper.
He's done.
From the But how you still clear that, man? Like,
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I feel like in music, it's a more hostile thing. You know what I'm saying? I've seen cats in R&B they in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you sing love songs. Why are you... And you ain't that cut up for no bitches, bro. You getting a war body.
yeah.
You battle built. Because you ready for anything. I'm an R&B nigga, but if I take one of these niggas bitches and I don't know, I got to be ready for anything. Like, music is just hostile.
Do you think that they're gaining the respect that they really, that they deserve when they knock somebody out like that? I mean,
Tell me, he just said... He said, man, he real. And you was like, when they gonna stop fucking with him?
They not going. That's the thing, because
You know how many
once they
people went
realize you gonna
and
react,
streamed his music after the dude was
right?
with his ass out?
Yeah.
And you know how many dudes
But you-
followed the dude with his
but-
ass out
but that's-
after that?
but that's
Unfollowed or followed?
No,
him?
follow.
But that's
He
entertainment
got
to the
clout
people,
just
though.
off getting knocked
That's
out.
what I'm saying.
That's entertainment to the people, man. People like to see drama. People like to see a whole bunch of bullshit. And
I don't know, man. I just chose a long time ago not to take that route because when you in Hollywood working, even the little guys, the young dudes is around all the big dudes. We all at the same shows. Dave Chappelle's walked in the shows I'm at. I could have been like, I need to run it and looked for it. You know what I'm saying? Just on some clout chasing. But I wasn't into that. I was always, respectful and paid homage to what he's made possible for me to get myself.
Now, when
Right.
Dave Chappelle walks into a room,
Yeah.
do you want to go before him or do you want to go after him?
Well, first off, when Dave walks in, everything changes anyway. It's like, this is how it feels. It feels like you playing football with your boys.
right.
Some of them better than other ones.
Mm-hmm.
One of them got a shot. And then here come LaDainian Tomlinson and Ocho Cinco. Can we play too?
Of course.
Yeah, you can play, but damn, like you didn't, the game done really leveled up on us,
Right.
man. We was just homeboys playing, man. Y'all
And
done,
now we
y'all
gotta get serious.
Yeah, like you got on a helmet, bro. Like,
Right.
and that's how I feel when Dave come in. Not to the comics, because we like, bro, we take this just as serious, but the people watching is like, oh, a real. That's how they act. And for that reason, I'd rather go after. because I got a chip on my shoulder.
Okay.
And then
If you gonna
10
ride
times
him like
harder.
that, it's not about clout chase. It's about earning. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's just the way I look at it. That's like going into state as a wrestler and you unknown and you wrestling the number one kid in the state and he stay on his back the whole time. They're like, dang, he's the real deal too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I like rising to that occasion. I had a situation happen with Dave. And I'll be honest, like I say I want to go after, that's theoretical. Like I'm saying I want the spot that's like, let me just get my shit off. You know, so let the people, then they can watch me and say, oh, he got it too. But in reality, the people don't care about none of that shit. They're like, nigga, that's Dave Chappelle. What your little ass doing out there? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I go first so that I get to go at all.
No, go ahead. Me and him communicate. You
Oh,
go
okay.
ahead.
I'll go first so that I get to go at all. That's what I'm saying. Because Dave pops in and he does 45 minutes to an hour. And when he's done, the people are like, well, nigga, that's the show. What, we going to sit around for another person?
Yeah.
So if you want to go up, you better get your ass up there.
I feel you.
So I got a little story I'll share. I did a show, D. Ray Davis, Monday nights at Improv. And on this particular night, because they have multiple showrooms. And on this particular night, in the other room, they were doing the Just for Laughs showcases. And I was trying to get seen by Just for Laughs, even though it wasn't my showcase and I wasn't on it. I figured if I was on stage somewhere in the building, we might be able to get somebody to take a peek at me.
Right.
That was my logic behind it. In reality, they're like, we're not leaving the room. We're here for these people. You know what I'm saying? But I was just like, I can't. And so I'm on the show, on D-Ray's show. I got like 15 minutes or something. I don't know if I'm closing. I think I was closing. And then Dave Chappelle walks in. And everybody's buzzing about it. Oh, Dave. I'm like, okay, so I go to D-Rex. Man, I'm gonna use the bathroom. Come back and just let me know how much time you want me to do. And I go to the bathroom, quick too, pee, wash my hands, come back. Maybe 4 or 5 minutes. He's like, oh, you just missed it. I said, just missed what, D-Ray? Oh, Dave said you want to go up. He said you want to go up next. I was like, fuck. Where's he at? And he was like, why? And I was like, I'm going to try to get unbumped. Because that's called bumping. When they do that, because you get the lineup, you get bumped back. I said, I'm going to try to get unbumped. He was like, you're going to go talk to Dave. I was like, I'm going to go talk to what
Yeah.
Not asking, I'm going to get the same answer as if you say no. It's
Right.
I ain't got nothing to lose. And he's back in the back booth and he's cooling with his people's, couple.
So we talking about Dave Chappelle, talking about getting bumped.
Yeah, I got bumped, man. He popped into the Improv. And it was on the night that I was really trying to go up because in my mind I felt like the people that were supposed to be in the other room needed to see me in the main room. Right. So I really did not want to get bumped. And so I talked to Dave and I was like, man, I'm sorry to interrupt what you got going on. He was just cooling with his friends. I was like, man, would you mind if I did what I do before you do what you do? Because I was on the lineup. And he was like, and he kind of was like listening to me, but he wasn't really like listening to me. But once I said, if I did what I did before you do what you do, he looked up like at me, like
eye contact.
Yeah, he was like, you know what? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, do your thing. I went back over to D-Ray. I'm like, yeah, nigga, I'm unbumped. And he was like, are you fucking lying? I was like, no, I went over there, talked to the nigga. He said, I'm good.
Yeah.
He was like, you better be telling the fucking truth. Because in his eyes, I could have went down there, got rejected, came back, lied to him, and he go up, bring me up, and Dave was like, yo, what the fuck? So I make D-Ray look bad off the information he has. I didn't even know that was a scenario a nigga would do, but D-Ray done seen it before. He done seen it all. So he was like, nigga, you better be telling the truth. I'm like, I swear to God I am. So I go up, and instead of doing 15, I knock out 8. It's 8 cracking, it was cracking a little set. And then I said, man, I was supposed to do more time tonight, but I'm gonna yield my time to the next act, and we're about to escalate this to another place. And they were like, what? And I leave, and then D-Ray comes up. Yeah, we're going to another place. Y'all give it up for the next motherfucker. It walks off. Damn. No intro. And Dave comes from the back, cigarette lit, and it's illegal to smoke inside in California. And most places, Dave came to the front already smoking. What's up, motherfucker? Nigga, everybody up. Ah! They on their feet. 3-4 minutes standing ovation before you're like, everybody calm down. It's just me. The only reason I'm here is because Faison said I don't tell jokes to niggas. Just like that, nigga. Everybody was dying. Already, I just sat back and studied.
So,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like, where do you rank Dave Chappelle at when it's like the all-time greats? We're talking Eddie Murphy, Bernie Mac. I mean, that's my list. I don't put nobody in particular order, but I'm looking at Eddie Murphy.
Okay, so I got my own opinions on this that people be disagreeing with me about.
Talk to him.
I got something to say
I
about
feel
Eddie
like
Murphy.
what's up, Pumpkin Patch? I feel like it's the argument people have with rappers where they be like, "How you gonna say that's the greatest rapper alive and he only had 2 albums?" You know how people have that argument.
Big,
I already know where you're about to go.
Okay, so Eddie Murphy's phenomenal,
Right.
but he
With
had
2
Delirious and Raw. He did 2 specials. They were both incredible, and then he just hangs it up, right? Take a Bernie Mac, no specials, but 25 years of gold out in, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then blows up to the megasphere off of a 20-minute set on a multicast show, which is Kings of Comedy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's 20 minutes. Eddie Murphy did an hour versus an hour, 2 hours from Delirious and Raw. Bernie Mac's 20 minutes. And Bernie may be the greatest to ever grab a mic. He got 25 years of doing 6 shows a week in Chicago, throwing his own show. Like you could catch Bernie on stage. You know what I mean? All the way till he's out of there. Bernie was performing all the time. Even like Pryor. Pryor performed all the way in a wheelchair. Eddie retired. So we didn't get to see him. Nobody in this room got to see Eddie live.
No.
Because the shit was 25 years ago. I was 10 years old. I wasn't old enough to 1, see it, or 2, really appreciate it. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, it was dope though.
I'm not knocking the dopeness. I'm just saying, first of all, everything we talking about is dope. As far as every name we saying, they all in the dope category. We talking about the order of, you know what I'm saying? So if you ask me who I think greatest, I say Richard Pryor. He's the first one in real life. He's the first one to really, truly talk about himself and get away from the shticks. And comedy was one way, and then Richard Pryor happened, and the whole game changed. Even Richard Pryor was different. You can find old tapes of him, and he's on there whitewashed and telling his, hey, what did the doctor say to the young lady when the young lady came in and put her hiney on the table, like that.
Yeah.
And then he was like, one day he was just like, nigga, I'm high than a motherfucker right now. I'm so high, I just sat at a stoplight waiting on it to turn green. Shit like that. Well, that's a stock joke now, but that's the kind of shit he was saying then. And he was just telling you how high he was.
Yeah,
Nobody
he was.
like that literally blew. Everyone else was like, did he just tell the truth? He didn't just make a joke. Like he's telling stories.
Yeah.
He was the first one to do like that.
So when you say whitewash, what is the difference? How is that coming up as a young comic learning to work those wrongs? Because like me personally, like I listen to black comedy and I listen to white comedy. My favorite white comic is Joe Rogan.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? So like, what's that like coming up and having to? How do you navigate that field?
Well, our culture got a rawness to it and a pizzazz. And if you ain't got that, if you don't possess it, we read it fast. An audience of black people will see through the bullshit in less than a minute to be like, nah, he not really about this life. You know what I'm saying? It's quick. White audiences will sit through way more. You know what I'm saying?
They'll wait for that punchline.
They'll wait on it, which is, it's good for any black audiences wait too. Like Chicago is where Bernie Mac is from. They're raised on storytelling jokes. They'll wait 8-9 minutes on one punchline, just listening. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that it's an attention deficit or a different in attention. It's just there's a storytelling, there's a personification and a I don't know, a spunk, a spice that we have to our people, let alone when we bring it to the art. And Joe Rogan stands out because he's tough for a white dude. You know what I'm saying? And so, for me, one of the main things that makes it translatable across races, genders, age gaps, and all that is language.
Okay.
Right? So it's how you say it. The content can still be the same. The joke's the joke. The punchline's still gonna be the same punchline. How I get there, and the expletives I use or don't use, it matters. If I do a show and it ain't 75% black, I don't say nigga. I don't even feel comfortable. I'm on stage in front of a room that's mostly white people going nigga this, nigga that feels like cooning to me. It just does. But if it's us, I'm like nigga. That's different to me. It just feels different. And so I know that, and white people know this too.
But how do the white crowds respond when a black comedian use the word nigga loosely like that?
It depends. Sometimes if they just take it like, and it's in their own.
Cat Williams.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, for white people, it just depends on how they perceive the use of it. If they think of it niggas, like black people say nigga when it's friends,
right,
homies. He's just, and the other thing that they can do is this: no matter what race is listening to it, they can tell if it feels natural to you to be saying it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you're like nigger, they're like, whoa. Like they know, but if you just like, man, then I told that nigga, man, I was like, man, you better get your ass back. They don't hang on to it as much as. Right. You know what I'm saying?
It's just a part of the normal.
It's just
comedy.
a part of his.
Like,
we're watching him as he is. He's not changing who he is for us, and white people can appreciate that.
Right?
They real too. You know what I'm saying? There's also an element of when you try to cater to that too much, that they're like, be yourself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They're like, come on, bro. Like, white people know black people too. Right. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be NWA or what we've seen on TV, but come on, bro. You don't have to be authentic, a caricature of yourself trying to be cool. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You don't have to shuck and jive for us. Like, they literally, white people, they keep it real too. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's the thing we don't give white people credit for. We be like, they don't see it how we see it. They do. And the ones that are the worst are the ones that ignore it. Okay. Or they'd rather have the privilege over the honesty of what's what. Yeah. Because as soon as the cops grab them, like, you're throwing me around like a nigger. Like, they know we get thrown around. You know what I'm saying? Right. Don't treat me like I'm black. That's a real, I seen that. I seen a white lady yelling that. Get the fuck out of here. Swear to God, that's a real thing. You can find the clip, but the white lady was like, you're slamming me around like I'm black. Oh, shit. I'm not black. So, well, bitch, you knew we was getting slammed around. You had no problem with it. Yeah. Now you getting slammed, you want to yell it out. So just know, like, all races see it. And I've traveled the world. I've been to Qatar, Seychelles, Germany, all over the UAE, and they all understand the African American experience. I'm talking about not Africans in America, African American, like descendants of slaves. Somebody told me it was called ADOS. ADOS, the new movement that's going on. Yeah, because there's a distinct difference. Yeah, if you
like, if you Haitian or Dominican, well, not Haitian.
If you're not in America because somebody brought your people here, as a slave, then your experience of this whole concept is different.
Now you're not entitled to reparations.
That's for sure, because you didn't go through 400 years of setbacks. Yeah.
Wow. Let me ask you this, man. We talked about Bernie Mac a little bit earlier. There's a famous scene. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
I'm not.
A lot of people don't know the background to that scene.
Okay.
The scene was that about 4 comics got booed. Martin, who was the host at the time, couldn't calm the crowd down. And Bernie was next. So that whole segment was him coming off the top of the dome. Have you been in a hostile environment as a comic where you had to, get out of it?
Yeah, but here's the thing.
What's up?
This is what I would have liked to do as a comic, to break that moment down some more, is to see what Bernie had intended to do before he decided to adapt to the situation. Okay. Because he might have already worked with Kid Capri, that he was going to say, kick ass, and he was going to do all of that. He like, it's going to kill when I do my music cues. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then he walks out, and I don't know if it was 4 comics that bombed. I heard that differently. I heard it was
the number. Don't quote me on the number.
Okay, well, Bob Sumner told me, and it's a little fuzzy on my story too, so we might as well combine the two. But essentially, every episode of Def Jam, Bob Sumner and Russell Simmons insisted that there was a female on every single episode. Okay, they were pushing that for women, so it would be 4 acts, right? And one was going to be a woman. So apparently, Martin rocked, Chris Tucker rocked, and then Bernie, not Bernie, then the lady that went after
Chris Tucker.
No, Hamburger was next. Hamburger. Then the lady that went after Hamburger, she had a rough set. Okay. Hence, she's not even on the episode when you watch it. Okay. So I don't know who the girl was, but he named her. He was like, yeah, it was, whatever it was, Marilyn, whatever it was. Yeah. Jane Doe. Man, yeah, she was cold from St. Louis, man, but that night it was against her, or whatever it was. So she got booed. And then when Martin came back out, Martin didn't really address it. And Martin was a great host, but
He didn't address the issue.
He was, because it's a TV. He's just like, all right, y'all chill.
Right.
Next act, like that's kind of versus Martin gonna rip and dig it up out of a hole. Like that wasn't necessarily what happened. Just we just brought Bernie Mac out. And Bernie was like, I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. And that's one of the best things he could have did for a crowd that's ready to boo and take over a set. And they've taken over the moment. You come back out and you demand respect. You at least bought yourself 30 seconds where they're like, well, why ain't you scared, nigga? What you about to say? You know what I'm saying? And then his swag didn't change about it. He's hitting music and dancing. And if you look, and this is the thing, I watched that video a lot actually. And he had on some bullshit ass airbrush pants that didn't nobody respect. But there's two girls in the front row center, two girls that are extremely unimpressed with Bernie Mac. While greatness is happening right in front of them. The standing ovation happens and they stay in their seat like, I didn't like it. And that's the thing. Greatness can happen like right there with you or in entertainment, and when you in it, you don't even see it as what it is. Like this, the Hunnids podcast could be literally the greatest thing to be a thing, and somebody watching it, just watching it, and it is. They not appreciating what J Hamp is, can be, will be. You know what I'm saying? When it's all you see what I'm saying? Yeah. And so it was just a trip to see Bernie Mac make history and just see unimpressed people. Like how you in it and you don't
recognize.
That makes sense? Yeah. There was somebody but on Mark McGuire's team, like he don't hit that hard. You know what I'm saying? Like he got the record,
He's on roid.
Right.
Always gonna be somebody out there hating, man.
You
Always.
know? But it's just a trip. But they weren't even like hating, they were just unimpressed. They just didn't recognize they were in They didn't recognize they were in it. They were in the great. They didn't recognize it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Def Jam is bittersweet to me, man. Def Comedy Jam bittersweet. Cause I grew up like we 80s babies, 86. So when Def Comedy Jam was on, I'm sneaking up to watch it.
Yeah. Always.
Kid Capri, the reason why I picked up turntable.
Nice.
But when I met him, the nigga's a hoe. You know what I'm saying?
Dang,
like
I ain't met him.
Have you ever like bumped? And I'm not asking you to name him. But have you ever bumped into somebody that you might have looked up to, and then when you finally met them, it's just like
Monique.
Oh damn, he said the name.
That's the only
Keep
one.
It 100.
Keep it 100, yo.
Monique.
Yeah, that was the only one. But in her defense, and this is about the only leeway I'm gonna give because I felt like this was lame to me. But we were on the same flight, flying somewhere, and I was in coach, and she was in first class. No, I was in first class on this flight. Granted, I was on a buddy pass and had bumped up to first class. I wasn't at this place in my career where I'm on first class the whole time, but she was standing there at the gate in LA, and I was just like, I stepped up to, said, hey, I just want to tell you I was a fan of your work and to keep going. This is all before the Netflix stuff and all that. And it's just like, I like what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You're doing your thing, Mo. And I was like, hey, I just wanted to, and then a manager stepped up and literally stepped between us and was like, she not talking to nobody right now. I was like, I just wanted to tell her that I felt, nobody. Could you please move? Please move. Please move. And I looked beyond the lady at Monique, and she was like, not making no eye contact. Like, this is how I want this to be handled. And I was like, okay.
Wow.
There was like first class seating. I was like, excuse me. Went and sat on the plane like I was. So them two had to sit right there, and I'm sitting right here. Can I have some more nuts and some more? So I got like punked by the manager in the airport. She was with the shits, and then it's a trip because when I watched like the Monique show, where she's like, her late night show she always led with love. And then I see her taking the high road on Netflix and saying like, when this happens to our brothers, we don't kick them while they're down. We lift them up when they go through this. Like I saw that in response to the people. She said that when the people were hating on her getting her Netflix deal, they got their shows taken. She had the chance to dog them, and she took the high road. And I commend her for that. But at the same time, I'm like, where was that energy when a young me was just trying to say,
what's up?
Yeah, right. And I get that there's a time and a place for everything, but it's not like she was with family. It's not like she was eating. She was just fucking standing there. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
And then we get in first class, and like I get that happened out there, but now I'm just right here. You could have turned to me like, baby, I'm sorry that happened at the airport.
Yeah.
And didn't say nothing.
They didn't even like. It was all about. Now it was about ignore that little nigga. Like that's what it was about for probably a 4-hour flight.
So do you?
That's whack to me.
Do you think that she was probably doing that that's how she wanted her persona to be outside of being on stage or being behind, in front of the lights?
I don't
You
know.
think that's
Like
how
I
she
said,
really
the
is?
only leeway I give her is that she's about to fly, and that's not the most pleasant experience.
Right.
When you fly a lot, you don't want nobody really bothering you. But in what I was thinking was like, I have that in mind, and I'm going to keep it short, quick, and sweet. And I want you to hear this uplift. Like, if you know what I'm about, then I mean what I'm saying. Like, I hope we work together one day and all that. And I'll probably run the story by her. She'll be like, baby, I don't even remember.
Don't even remember.
I
saw Ocho Cinco in CVS, and I was about to say something, and I was just like, hold on, we in CVS. I feel like that's a little bit more private, so I'm gonna let you be. But the airport, I mean, the fad game, I ain't trying to be no groupie,
Right.
take no pictures, just trying to say what up, woo, and we in the same profession. That lame.
I feel like if you are in that spotlight, at least give somebody 10 or 15 seconds of your time, man. That might make their day. You know what I'm saying? That goes a long way. Like, I don't care how.
That's true.
how
I'm
high
telling you, like,
how-
I give her
how
some
you
leeway.
get.
Because
Like, no.
But my 10 to 15. Have you ever seen a celebrity stop and actually give somebody some time?
Yeah.
Have you seen what happens after they do that?
They stay there for forever.
Because once somebody sees that they doing it, everybody else is on their ass. So
Right.
they 10 seconds turn into they 10 seconds. They 10 seconds, 10 seconds.
I
So
get
now
that.
they 20 minutes
get
in, like, I gotta get on the flight, people, shit. And I've seen Eddie Murphy. Now that's a whole nother star than Monique, but I saw Eddie Murphy. He's out wearing a tunic, like covered.
But he like that type shit.
Covered. He has to. Which is at the Maxwell concert. He got to be covered.
Come on, man.
Just so he can enjoy the concert.
Fam, if he take his tunic off, that's Eddie Murphy. Do you know how big of a star this nigga is? I'm talking about even without being on the screen. That's Donkey from Shrek at the very least.
Yep.
You grew up on it. You're not a stand-up, but you grew up on his voice.
Dr. Doolittle.
Yeah.
All the voices. The colors.
Absolutely. All of that. And so all of that is like, that's all you see. And people, when you grew up, we all grew up on the Clumps.
Yeah. Right.
We grew up on that fat ass family and Eddie being every character. We all grew up on
Amazing.
Coming to America. We grew up on it. So mind you, he stopped doing stand-up, but he stayed in our lives. So when you see Eddie, it's like, my cousin. He don't know who the fuck you are.
Right.
And you have all the best intentions. And I've seen it turn. I've seen people run up. Oh, man, I just want to say what's up. Let's take a picture. All right, come on, let's take it. Oh, it's blurry. Can we get one more? All right, come on. Oh, man, I don't like it. Damn, fam. Who you damn famming, bro? Like, they turn quick because they hurt. You know what I'm saying? And that's why security's like, that's enough. Like, so I've seen it to where, and that's why I was like, but to me as a professional comedian, and but when that thing happened with Monique, I already been doing comedy for a decade, so it's not like I was just some little nigga that ran up. She, at some way, shape, or form, should have been like, oh yeah, for sure, that is Nate, or Nate Jackson, or her manager, which was another lady, should have been wise enough in the game to be like, at least entertain.
Yeah.
Why are you being a bitch? Really?
Right.
I guess my beef is with the manager, and not Mo, because she just sat back. But I just feel like, when you're the talent, you are aware of that. Like, you're choosing to ignore it.
How do you deal with it when you're out in between shows?
I speak to everybody, man. But I'm not that. There's levels to this shit, and I'm not at Monique's level, and I know that. You know what I'm saying? I will be one day, soon, hopefully. So
Well,
it is
hold
what it
on.
is.
Let's back. It depends,
Like,
bro. Because
No, I'm talking about with the fandom. Monique was in Precious and is an award-winning actress
That's a
and has
trash
had,
movie.
but still, she got awards. She
Monique
had
show.
she had a sitcom.
Yeah.
She had a late night show. She's got the Netflix special coming out. She's an activist. She has a lot of stuff going.
But it's not like you haven't done projects either, though.
Let's say we both in high school, but I'm a freshman and she's a senior.
I feel.
And
got
I'm
you. I
okay
got
with
you.
that.
I got you.
There's levels. You have to understand there's levels. First of all, the pay is different. This is my first time in Virginia Beach. If she was signing the wall in the green, women be up there 100 times. So it's fine with me to understand that there's levels. That's why I work the way I work, because I'm trying to whatever. And that's what I'm saying. How do you know who to appreciate and not appreciate? If I come up or somebody come up, I treat everyone equally, the same way it says to in the Bible, or as we learn. Treat everybody with humility. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
Everybody's not wired the same, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah, it's
saying?
true.
So I'm mindful of that. But I shake hands, dap, hug ladies, short, because I don't know if their husband's standing right there like, that's enough, brother. I don't know. I'm at the end of my shows, I wait outside and I shake every hand. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Can I have a picture, please? All of that. That's going to cost people soon. But for now, I'm like, it is what it is.
Right.
So where do you rate Nick Cannon's stand up?
Fuck, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get controversial.
You are on Wildin' Out.
No, I'm not on Wildin' Out. So I just
We gonna get to that. See,
okay.
See.
Nah, Nick is first off, Nick's a great dude.
Yeah.
And Nick gives and creates opportunities where a shitload of people haven't. Wildin' Out still remains right now the number one place that a comic can break out of. You have to respect the stand-up talent that's gone through Wildin' Out, whether it's Kevin Hart, Cat Williams, D-Ray, Corey Holcomb, me, Carlos, even DC Young Fly, even Bean, even Darren. Like, funny stand-ups, you know what I'm saying? You got it. You can't knock that. Leonard Oots, Shula King's on there now. There's a bunch of stand-up comedy alumni that even though people don't really consider Wildin' Out like a credit, right? But for the stand-ups, like, I feel like if you in a town and you see a Wildin' Out person coming, get your ass to the show because they already got this. We're worth it already. It's hard enough to get on Wildin' Out that if they can do that, they can definitely rock out for you. That's how I feel. But people got to see Wildin' Out like that. They see it as a game show. Like, oh, he's on their game. You know what I'm saying? But if you really respect true stand-up, you know that there's real stand-ups on there doing their thing. And Nick is a real stand-up. And his laughs per minute, which is literally how many times you laugh at him per minute, aren't where I'd like to see them. But he is funny. He's hella funny around in person, always cracking jokes and stuff like that. When it comes to the stage, I think Nick leans into controversial stuff more than hysterical stuff because he wants to use the platform to also get a message off. And that's a choice. That's a choice. I believe there's jokes and then there's your voice, and Nick is using his voice more than the jokes. And I think the right ratio is either 50-50 or more jokes than voice. Okay. But Nick is right now more top heavy on because he's funny. He's gonna make you laugh. You laughing at the intro and stuff, but then when he start talking about real shit, you like, damn. You look up, you ain't laughed in 8 minutes,
but you learn.
But you learn, So how do you knock that? Because Dick Gregory used to be on that same thing. And that's more Nick's wave. Like, this is the thing. People watch stand up with stand up in mind. If you watch stand up with an empty palate, with your mind, like if you go to the movie and you don't expect shit, it's always better than you thought it was gonna be. Right. So when you turn on Nick Cannon or me or anybody else, expect nothing. Then everything you get is all gifts.
It's fresh.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. But when you watch a Nick and you like thinking of the last 6 specials you just saw and you comparing everything he said, that's not even fair to him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Furthermore, to be all the way real with you, stand-up takes a whole lot of energy and time. You got to manicure these jokes. You got to do the shows. It's like a muscle. You got to go work it out. And Nick got a lot of hats he wears. That's a busy nigga, man. When I did Wildin' Out, he was taping 6 shows at the same time. Wildin' Out, Rap City was coming back, Nickelodeon, Nick Teen at Night. He was filming his own vlog. And he was doing stand-up at night, and that was that's 7 things. There was always a camera. And every single thing generated revenue. Everything, there was money from somewhere. So he doing stand-up. I'm like, when did the nigga have time to write? While his driver drove him here? So I went to a show and was just listening like, man, I want to give you some tags and punches if I can. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot less going on and time to give. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I did. And, so did a few other people and stuff. So when you saw the special, at the end of the day, nobody said, oh, it wasn't funny. They said it was too controversial and he lost his AGT gig over it. Yeah. Or he didn't even, he quit before he lost it. Yeah. So
what was that Wildin' Out experience like?
Wildin' Out was the shit, man. It was,
I should have been more specific.
Well, it's too late. It was the shit.
I mean, the improv element, man, because I mean, I know it's TV and whatever, man, but it seems like a lot of that come off the top of the dome. And be able to deliver that the way it's being delivered, man, is that's a true talent.
Yeah, it's definitely a gift.
That's like what is that like being up there on that stage and then having to come up with these skits and all that, and then at the same time you up there with your peers.
That are just as good.
That's bringing the same energy that you
No,
bring.
you're not up there with your peers.
Oh, ooh. All right, talk to me.
I feel like they be
hold on. I gotta hear
this. This is why I say that you're not up there with your peers, because the people with the skill set to succeed on Wildin' Out season after season, episode after episode, are truly special. They brains fire in a different way. Okay, there's a certain amount of breaking it down and rebuilding it you can do and teach yourself real fast to be a battle rapper or to joke rap or to rap with funny bars. You can teach yourself that. I could teach you in 2 weeks, 2 days if you were quick, and 2 hours if you already rap it all. Okay, but they so good at it. You're looking at somebody who got 6-7 seasons standing across from you. If it's your first season, how that's not. Yes, y'all got the same shirt on. Yes, all on the same lineup. But if it's your first episode and you battling Bean or Los, that's an uphill battle. You're not. They playing with they've already thrown ideas away that are better than what you about to say, because they've been in this mindset for this long. They've been thinking of Wild 'N Out shit, even when they're not filming it. They got notes in their phone where they've been thinking, oh, that's gonna be great. Oh, that's gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Or hey, Bean, what about this bar? And everybody's just having fun. It's just, you having fun with it. And so then you go through your audition and they didn't let you just, who are you? Just a kid from Kentucky that is kind of funny that Nick and Niall say, yeah, we'll give you a shot. And now you and Bean go up and each one of y'all try to pull this Wild 'N Out girl. You've been doing this shit 3 weeks. You like it, you watch it on TV, but that's different than when them lights hit you and it's on you. You have to really rise to the occasion. I did, thankfully, by the grace of God. Every time the camera's on me, I arrived. You know what I'm saying? But I saw people crumble and tuck and roll and get up out of it too. So that's why I say I wouldn't call it peers, because peers is earned. You know what I'm saying? It's you can finish a whole episode with everybody and write a cut. Everybody go different ways. These niggas cool, they all going to smoke over there. They ain't fucking with them, they over there. Or they drinking over here. And they don't got no beef. It's just, that's just, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Half the cast extra tight because well after we taping only takes 2 weeks to film a season. There's 50 other weeks in the year. So I might not see Justina for literally 50 weeks. I'm gonna see Carlos and Bean and Darren Brand because we're all doing college shows.
So how many shows y'all take in a
20 in 2 weeks, sometimes more than that. But it's 2 shows a day, 3 shows a day. You change clothes, change lineups. You find out what shows you're on midnight before you do it.
And there's no rehearsal.
Not really. I mean, how do you prepare for that much volume of shows? You can rehearse all you want, but when you get out there and it's time to do it in between a stop break for commercial and we back and the crowd wildin'.
Have you ever seen somebody just go blank? Didn't have anything to say.
Yeah, I seen a nigga say a joke wrong and then be like, hey, run that back. It was like, nigga, run what back? Get your dumb ass over there back in the, you know what I'm saying? It's really live. So I don't care if I tell you, go out there and say, titty fuck, titty fuck, titty fuck. When it come out, you can go titty fuck, fuck, titty fuck, fuck. Fuck. Man, get your bitch ass back. I told you what to say. Pressure's pressure. You know what I'm saying?
So
pressure
straight
busts
cut
pipes
through.
and it builds diamonds. So which one are you?
It's Wild 'N Out the natural progression from In Living Color? Or are they two separate beats?
Two different things.
All right, talk to them.
Well, one is improv comedy and one is sketch comedy. That's not even the same realm. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Closest thing to Wild 'N Out is Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Okay.
Add some music, you know, like when Wayne Brady starts singing and they start rapping and stuff, that's the closest thing to Wild 'N Out. But Wild 'N Out is very unique in that sense. But all that, Saturday Night Live, Mad TV, all that is sketch. That's pre-rehearsed sketches. You know, you're acting. Now, you know, mind you, some of them have live studio audiences, so it is live in that sense.
Yeah.
But it's still a sketch. You're playing a character and you know which way it's going and you know where you're in, you're out. You guys, you know which way you're going to build. We could count to 21 and we say the numbers instead 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We could do that.
Right.
The first time maybe we get it or mess it up, but after twice you got it. And that's sketch because you know the number, you know what you're listening for to know what to say next.
Which one do you like better, sketch or improv?
Sketch. I like sketch because there is room for improv in it, but there's no room for sketch in improv.
Right.
And if there is, it's very little. You know what I'm saying? Like you might say, all right, listen, you're a doctor and you're a patient, but the doctor is a pregnant man. Go.
But it's
now you got to improv.
Right.
We gave you the parameters of the improv, and that's different than sketch. Sketch is the doctor is going to say this, this, and this. You're going to say that, that, and that. Then he's going to say this, this, this. Then you're going to say that, that, and that. Then you're going to find out that you're the reason he's pregnant. But they give you the arc.
Right.
But in today's world that we living in, isn't it more dangerous for sketch because you have to be so politically correct like that? With sketch, it's a pre thought out thought. With improv, it's off the cuff.
But Don't with improv too.
Like
even if it is live, they still cut it up.
I mean, what I'm
Certain
saying is there
things
could
hit
never
the
be
TV and
another.
certain
There could
things
never
don't.
be another. In
That's for sure. I mean, I think
That's
there
true.
will be
In the time we live in,
before you die. Yeah.
Something must be in the works.
It's not that's necessarily even in the works. I just think there is similar talent to like there was back then. There's been a talent boom right now.
I mean,
Dwayne
I'm with you on the talent, but they touch certain subjects like
Oh yeah, you're never gonna get no hated it and all that
Right,
stuff.
right.
No, because you have to be more politically correct. Unless somebody gets the green light to call it, we doing whatever the fuck we want show. And if you don't like it, turn away. And some network has to nut up, and some advertisers have to nut up and do it. And right now, with the success of 502s and weed companies and stuff like that coming in, there's going to be somebody who can afford to be a major advertiser and say, "I want to see the wildest shit y'all can give me, and I'm not pulling advertising dollars on it."
Yeah.
If you had that as a creator, you'd be like, "Well, fuck it then."
Let's get it.
Because right now, if you want to see wild shit, you gotta go to YouTube. Because ain't nobody getting paid. You know what I'm saying? Like you get paid off the advertisers that watch. So in that sense,
Right.
that's different than Pepsi says they don't like what you guys just did last episode. You know what I'm saying? Or the Kylie Jenner's on this next episode and no Bruce Jenner jokes. Like that's just that's
just that cut and
real,
dry.
yeah. Antonio Cromartie's coming on and he says nothing about children because he has a lot of them, or whatever the reason may be that someone says. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So you have to dance around that stuff in improv, and then there's somebody from network there with a clipboard going, "You can't say that, you can't do this, you can't do that." And even for Wildin' Out, they're like, "Y'all have to say allegedly. You can't keep accusing people of stuff in your jokes."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No Bill
But if
Cosby jokes, no R. Kelly joke. Like you get the parameters when you're doing improv and sketch.
But that takes away from the comedy, the craft. Like
That's
you
why
gonna tell me I
go
can't
watch-
talk about R.
You gotta
Kelly.
watch comedy live. There's nothing like live comedy. There's nobody censoring. What's the club gonna do? Not pay you? Is the alcohol vendor gonna pull out of the whole club because somebody said something? No. So you go see comedy live to really. I mean, you go see comedy live and you see the dad from Full House cussing and shit.
Yes.
Okay.
Yo.
So I'm just telling you, like that's the only thing I'm pointing out is there's a difference. But you have to respect that. If you're gonna be on somebody's network, you got to respect how they get
What
paid.
their rules
You gotta,
and regulations are.
or you
Right.
can go. We'll do the show without your crazy ass. We don't need
Yeah,
that.
we'll find somebody
So
else.
yeah,
Keep
it's
this
censored,
money
and it
coming
should
in.
be to a certain extent.
How has social media changed? Comedy. How are you using it?
Social media is another place with no filter.
Uh.
It's another place with less. If you're talking Instagram, you can put any songs, any content, anything you want on Instagram. You ain't gotta own it.
When you put anything on Instagram on your personal page, does that reflect your work money at some point? Can they be like, "Look, man, your Instagram way too hot, man. Like you're doing way too much on the gram. And you want to work with us, you got to
It
tone it
can.
down."
I haven't done that because it's not. I got family that looks at my Instagram. Like my nieces. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna be that goddamn wild.
Right.
But I have seen people who are like, "Man, you might want to dial that down."
The Stevie Wonder skit?
There's some people who full
Bruh.
on embraced it.
You a fool. The
But see,
Stevie
to me,
Wonder-
the funny was more than the disrespect. So I was okay with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
he-
it's
even
fucking
he would've
funny. Oh yeah.
Y'all
Stevie
gotta go
would laugh.
listen. It's Mr. Nate Jackson on Instagram.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta go check it out. The comedy skits are hilarious. The ones where it's like, what you really thinking,
Oh yeah.
bro? Like, where do you come up with this? Like,
Other scenarios.
this shit funny, bro. Like,
It's just when you start shooting a bunch of skits and stuff, you start thinking like that. You start thinking like what's good. You're sitting there going, "Man, I need a skit." Literally, you're sitting there, "I need a skit." You hit your blunt or whatever you do. You're like, what am I gonna do? And something will come to you, and then you expound on it. And so what I saw, my honest inspiration was I saw an episode of Insecure, and Issa Rae was just walking, and somebody disrespected her, and she like went crazy. Like just fucked up everything. And then she snapped back and she was like, "Oh, you're excused." I'm like, "Oh, so that didn't really happen?" So to me, I was like, that'd be dope if like you
Damn right.
lived out the scenario in full. And so I took one of those interactions like she has and turned it into 3. So now, you could be chilling and something happen and it go your way, my way, and then another person walk in their way. And so you see all these different ways it could have gone, and it's just like, which one do you think was yours? My thing for those is I feel like those aren't as funny as they are entertaining and interesting. Like I have some called Don't Move that I can't even watch. They fucking crack me up.
bro,
They're funny as shit. But For these in particular, it's like it's more like, oh, which way is it gonna go? It's like butterfly effect. You know what I'm saying?
Man, it's one young lady that I seen on your on one of them skits, and I had to slide in her DMs. But she played me, man. You know the skit with the pillow?
The pillow?
Yeah, you put the young lady in the pillow.
You talking about Little Mama?
Yeah, dog. I slid in them DMs, bro.
Wait.
Yeah, man. I'm looking for it.
You don't gotta look for it. It's
She played me though, like
you talking about Freaker Brit?
Yeah, man. Hey, bro. She thick.
Yeah, she thick.
Man, look.
Man, she's a little person, bro. What you mean?
She beautiful. She beautiful.
Which one you talking about?
The midget. Freaker Brit.
No, hold on. I'm gonna pull her up. I might have deleted that.
I don't even know who that is. What? He wanna holler at a little person.
Hey, she thick.
She built like a spider, nigga. She don't have
Hold on, dog. I'm gonna show you something, bro. You ain't seen her, dog.
She's 50%.
That little Kim Kardashian right there, boy. That Kim Kardashian right there, boy. Just give me one. It won.
Well, she be acting up.
She funny as hell.
Man, this is what we do on the
But
Hunnids
look, put in
podcast,
words
man.
for me. You thought I was talking about the but nah, that one. Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
watch how she hit it.
You smack it too.
Watch
Wood.
this. Look.
Damn.
She gonna power
With the
at it.
stripper
And she got
walk.
all the little moves. Look.
Bing, bing, bing.
You
bing,
smack her,
bing.
right?
Yeah, I would.
Hey, come on, thank you. Keep it
I
on.
would. I'm gonna keep it 100. I would.
Nate try to be a gentleman, man.
Nate, you lying, Nate.
About what?
You wouldn't.
She little, man.
Man, you
that
prop her
mean?
up on that couch, man. Let me
Prop her up
stop.
on that.
Ever stand on that ottoman?
Man, damn.
Full size now. I can't. I mean, that's on you. If you just go off of cheeks only, yeah, she has smackable cheeks. But I go off the size of her entirely, and it makes me feel like a pedo.
Oh, nah, man.
That's why. I mean, I'm not saying y'all are that, but that's a little person, nigga. That
Right.
she's the size of a 4-year-old, man, and I can't get past that. It's a lot of ass on that 4-year-old body to me. That's how I look at it. I'm cool.
So what you got coming up next, man?
What's the next
We
thing?
got some roles. We gonna see you on TV. What's up? We need to see you on TV in somebody's sketch comedy.
Yes.
Well, I'm working it, and so basically, this past summer, I got signed to 3 Arts, which is one of the biggest management companies, and then a few months after that, I got signed to Gersh, which is one of the biggest agencies. So my team is finally strong and right and sharp and respected, and so that's reflected even in this weekend, because I've been all over the country doing stand-up, but I hadn't been to Virginia Beach. I hadn't been in the Funny Bone system yet, and so this is through the agency. You know what I mean? So that's why it's so important for me to arrive, not just do a show, but for people to say, who was that? Like, I have to do that. I have to shake up people's top 10s. I can't just be somebody they came and saw and they know we walk out. So along with gigs like this, there's other opportunities that are happening, and auditions. Things that I'm auditioning for are the biggest auditions I've ever had in my career. Like the type of shit where if I book one of these that I'm going out for, it's gonna change my grandkids' lives.
Okay.
It's so big that you can't say what they are
Right.
on camera.
Until they
So, but yeah, because I mean, it's so big. You get the script and it's watermarked. It says your name on it, and the purpose for that isn't so that you feel special.
Can I shake your hand, bro?
Nate gonna be the next
No,
Avenger.
but they tell you, yeah, that's what I want, or Star Wars or something. Yeah, but they give you, but I'm telling you, they put your name on the script all the way across the whole thing, watermarked, so that if the script gets out, they know where it came from, so they can blackball and tell you, like, sue you. You know what I'm saying? So, and I when I first signed and the first couple came in, and I was like, oh shit, these are watermarked. I knew right away it was a different level. I knew right away. I realized that for 15 years, you know, as soon as I signed, I saw a change in the opportunities that I was being able to take, even the no's were bigger no's. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so
Caliber, put you on the
something's gonna give. And the thing is, for them, is they're like, you know, yeah, we have bigger opportunities. Yes, we have bigger roles. Yes, we have bigger movies. This is what we do. You know, and be happy that we think you are the level of talent that's ready for that.
Indeed.
So I'm just trying to deliver.
And
some gonna give though. I promise you that. Even if it's a little role and what I'm already going out for, you'll be like, oh, that's a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
But look, I don't want nothing from you, but if you ever need security, just call me, brother. I'll come right out there.
He's certified.
This is what I do.
What kind of security do you do?
Nightclub.
No. No, yeah, I can't do it. Y'all need you to parry that.
Hey, look, man, it's the Hunnids podcast.
Like, what they got fired before you got hired. You didn't see that, huh, dog?
Nah, he see it.
No, like my natural extension
He
was like,
tried to slide a freaking Brit DM right now.
no, my natural instinct was like, is this nigga about to touch my face? Do I be like, yo, he cool people? What the fuck is he doing?
I said, what kind of security you do? He had a nightclub, and I reached out and touched his face. Yeah, no.
No, I ain't want to just be like,
what the fuck? Like, you're hired, nigga. I need a dog in my corner.
He just beat somebody's ass 3 weeks
I heard he been knocking brothers out.
The old Terry Crews.
But for real though, man, like you know, I do private
He trying to
transport.
talk over it.
I do.
Gotta get back to his resume points. You've been knocking niggas out since you were a little boy, so. My thing is,
take care of
let me
business
put it
when I
like
have
this.
to.
This is what I've noticed, and this ain't like if we were talking serious and something really wasn't happening, I need security. I want the type of person whose head's on a swivel that sees shit before we got to knock anyone out.
You're right.
I want a diffuser before I want somebody that's a bruiser.
But now in my security career now, I am a big diffuser.
Okay.
One thing I have noticed is
Diffuse.
I've hit a lot of the wrong people, and that stuff comes back to backfire you. People find out where you live at. You know, I've been in all type of situations doing this stuff for like 10 years.
Fuck, nigga, do that shit you were doing at the club.
Right? no, I don't want to cut it. But what I have learned is, if you see stuff before it happened, like you said, and you got people that are 3 steps ahead of the situation, then you'll be all right, for real.
Yeah, that's all I want.
You know what I mean? Like, whenever we go out and we do like private gigs, we go get an artist or something. Like, I got a man driving in front. He already, on the phone telling us what's up. You just never know, because like when we got Jeezy coming town or anybody, people go crazy.
Yeah, somebody got killed in
crazy.
Jeezy jump.
So I had story. 2 Chainz came in.
In the head.
Headshot.
Oh yeah, 2 Chainz came in. Walked him out of the, went to the car, got him, came back around. Guy walked up, yo, I want to talk to 2 Chainz. Guy back up, bro. Hey, look, man, I ain't here for you, nigga. I want to talk to 2 Chainz. I was like, I need you to back up, man. He trying to get in the car. My man came up to me, right in the head. I mean, I had to do what I had to do. Simply because I asked him twice. Tried to defuse twice before it got physical, and that's what it was. But other than that, I don't really hit people anymore.
Post-traumatic stress ass nigga.
I am. But no, my thing is this, bro. If I ask you politely twice,
He tried to make up for
respectfully.
getting his face touched.
No, look. I seen him touch my face, man. I seen it. But I'm like, I'm not hitting Nate. I'm not slapping Nate's hand.
The only reason he let me do that is because I was in his blind spot and he was talking. But and he's diffused right now.
All right.
He's not activated.
Right.
I believe he's about that life, because any nigga with thick ass, long ass fingernails like that doesn't care no more.
I don't, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
There's a couple things that you feel like is worth living for, and everything else, fuck it.
When I first met this dude, man,
So I feel it.
he said we met freshman year of college.
So come on, man.
He said, I'm not having sex.
What?
I'm not drinking.
Hold on.
I'm not twerking.
You went Muslim?
I said, bro.
You went pure on him?
Listen,
I
bro.
said, well, you have fun with that.
Listen.
We see how long that
Listen.
lasts.
No. Let me
A week later.
let me clear this up.
They went to a rave. Man.
Listen. No. Growing up, man, my mom had us in church, bro.
Yeah.
Tuesday,
Mount Calvary.
Wednesday, Saturday was rehearsals, and Sunday was the performance. We had 2 services on Sunday.
What was you doing? What was your performance?
I played the trumpet. I played the drums. I sang sometimes, but that was when I was younger. And then
you still sing sometimes?
No,
not to your woman.
I sang to her sometimes.
There you go. You know, you still break the trumpet out?
No, but you know what though? For real though, man. Like that was some of the most fun I've ever had playing the trumpet, man. I really felt like Louis Armstrong. I used to blow my cheeks up, like
really,
like I was really into it. But then I found out that
like sing it, baby.
Yeah, you're right. But
you found out what?
I found out that I didn't really have a love for the whole church atmosphere anymore, and that's when I moved on from that part of my life. But when I first got to college, man, I was about church, the word, the Bible, like.
And then
my mom, I lost my virginity at 17 years old, bro, and even that was just a one-time experience. I felt like I was going to hell. I felt dirty as hell. Like I was late bloomer on everything. My mom had us in the word, but we was raised in the hood, so I was a hood nigga / church boy. Mm-hmm. I was an eye punch in your mouth, and then my mom was ruthless too. My mom didn't play. My mom would hit you in your mouth
in the name of the Lord,
in the name of Jesus. So I had the tenacity of, you know, I can go in any environment and I'm good.
Then we all look at
But nah, man, that's just
you got the tenacity.
I did
like a young Emmett Smith. You was ready. You was ready for anything. 3rd down and 1, give you the ball.
Nah, man, but no, I'm.
Yes, man. Hey, look, man. It's the Hunnids podcast.
It got me. I can't even talk, yo.
Hey, look, Nate. Thank you, bro.
My G.
Thank you for coming through, man.
Appreciate you,
Straight
bro.
up, man. The Hunnids podcast, man. Check Nate out at the Funny Bone this weekend.
Yeah.
Till Sunday.
Yeah.
We got 2 shows a night.
2 shows a night, 1 show Sunday. Matter of fact, just go on either Instagram at Mr. Nate Jackson or NateJacksonComedy.com. NateJacksonComedy.com. Go there because my full schedule's on there.
Indeed.
And I know y'all listeners as well outside of Virginia Beach. I'm coming. I'm literally coming to every city in the country. So if it ain't your city, it's near your city. So come get with me.
Indeed, man. It's the Hunnids podcast, man.
Yeah.
Nate Jackson. We out this
building.
thing.
Keep it 100.
They talking accepting it's us. We stay on the grind till we up. You can catch me with game. We doing our thing. We focus on getting the bucks. Bending corners, the rims got us scuffed. Fuck police.